Need Pokemon Go PvP coaching? Well, I'm on Metafy, so click the link in the video description. It'll take you right to my page. What's up, guys? Got a different kind of video today. This one is not one I would recommend you build if you care about your rating. If you like having fun, honestly, Jynx is a lot of fun. But before we get into any of that, huge shout out to my Patreon supporters. Could not be doing this without you guys. And let's get into this video so I can talk a little bit about why maybe I am showing this video if I'm not recommending you to play this team. So the thing is, I'm ethically against tanking. I know a lot of people out there tanking for Go Battle Day, etc. But it's kind of impossible to stream with long queues. It's not very fun at all, and I just don't have the time of the day to stream. So instead of intentionally throwing my games, what I like to do is start playing some spicy picks. In this case, Jynx has been a regular tank commander for me in the past in Ultra League Premier. And honestly, it's not too bad. Like, it still has a lot of play. But why am I showing you this video if I'm trying to lose? Well, the thing is, turns out, even when you're trying to build a team with Jynx, with the goal of trying to lose, sometimes you still win. So I was in the 3240 or something like that, approximately starting rating. And while I'd kind of planned to get some better queue times here, what ended up happening was I ended up being within the top 150 on the leaderboard instead with Jynx. So this team turned out way better than expected. I'm really not sure. There's like some really big holes with it, obviously. You just look at it and it's super weak to charm, right? So I can't in good conscience recommend this to you. At the same time, I'm also running an Obstagoon with Gunk Shot this time. I was doing a challenge for one of my viewers to land Gunk Shot on as many Pokemon as possible here. So you see me going straight for the Gunk Shot and the 2 shields against Buffalon, stuff like that. And somehow I kept winning. So the reason I'm sharing this run with you guys is I thought it might be fun. I like showing when things sometimes work, sometimes Spice works better than expected, and Jynx is probably in the best position in the meta that it's ever been in Ultra Premier, but I don't know if that's still good. In this case, we've got the Kingdra. Switch in. I'm going to wait for them to land a move here. Hopefully it's not an Outrage, which it is. And in turn, we're going to just go straight for the Gunk Shot. Right? The goal here was to land as many Gunk Shots as possible and come in with the Jynx and get this nice little farm down. Knowing that it's likely going to be Snorlax that comes back in. Snorlax obviously dealing super effective damage with these licks against my entire backline, so it's a bit troublesome. I'm going to throw the Avalanche here. Avalanche is a fantastic move, and it's going to land on the Snorlax. And unfortunately, Snorlax is not going to be able to farm Jynx down. These confusions just hit a little bit too hard. And in comes Gallade to farm down the Snorlax, and guess what? Toxicroak in the back. So honestly, a lot of people I think are getting a little bit cocky with their team building right now. There's not a lot of Gallade in the meta as there used to be, right? It seems like Trevenant and the Trevenant counters have kind of forced out Gallade. And because of that, it seems like there's a lot more Toxicroak or Machamp or Nidoqueen in the back. Crobat is starting to get really popular too, right? And a lot of these Pokemon just get absolutely dumped on by confusion. So this Jynx Gallade backline is working a lot better than expected. Here we have Nidoqueen in the lead. We're going to swap into Gallade. We have 2 answers for poisons, 2 answers for fighters as well. So we're covering Obstagoon very well with this team. They stay in for a little bit. They actually make a good catch onto the Leaf Blade, onto their Kingdra, but that's not too bad because Gallade's going to get to another Leaf Blade as well. And these Leaf Blades hit Kingdra extremely hard. So I'm going to come back in with Obstagoon. Obviously, it's going to be locked in against the Nidoqueen here, so we're going to no-shield. Try and land some more Gunk Shots if we can, but this game does not look like it's going to be very possible to land a Gunk Shot. So the objective of the game is now changed to winning. We'll see what they have in the back. Going to come in with the Jynx, and they have a Machamp, so it is possible. But look how much damage those counters are doing to Jynx. I absolutely have to shield here. And unfortunately, this Nidoqueen is going to be able to deal enough damage to Jynx that I will have to shield once again on a Poison Fang. And then there's no point throwing my moves, but just barely get countered down before I can get that that final confusion off. And I'm actually going to lose this game. But you can see Jynx was positioned really well here. If I'd safe swap Jynx instead, I think of Gallade, Gallade probably would have been able to take down both Machamp and Nidoqueen, just because Gallade does double resist fighting, whereas Jynx does not resist fighting at all. But that would have been a thing to learn. A Muk lead, so this is actually really bad for the backline, but I don't think they know it. And what's even worse is I'm running Gunk Shot, right? But what's not bad is the goal of the game here is to Gunk Shot everything, so we're just going to throw this Gunk Shot straight at Alolan Muk. Very unconventional play, but they're not expecting it. They're not going to shield Gunk Shot, so another Gunk Shot landed. That's 3 this set already. That's a lot of Gunks. Eat another Sludge Wave, and hopefully because of the poison typing on Alolan Muk, I'll be able to farm it down with Gallade. Jynx would be taking super effective damage from these Snarls and Dark Pulses, whereas Gallade doesn't really. I'm going to shield regardless. And then in comes Swampert. This is not the switch in. So as soon as Swampert comes into Gallade, I'm thinking, okay, they've got a fighter in the back. This game is extremely, extremely doable. I'm going to throw both of these Leaf Blades to get this Swampert kind of shieldless, defenseless. No shield to Gallade once more. And then get to this Leaf Blade. They make a great catch onto Machamp. But honestly, I saw the catch coming. And it doesn't really matter too much. I'm going to swap into Jynx and just farm down this Machamp. Yeah. Decide not to shield it. You live. So, and just need one more to get to the Avalanche, which should be enough to take out the Swampert with at least one more confusion here. And Swampert needs to get to, 3 moves to take down the rest of the team. They have to take down the Jynx, take down the Gallade, take down the shield. So he's not even really that close. But yeah, the video is also a little bit shorter too. We only have 2 sets here. That was the last of my sets for the day. So Obstagoon lead. This one is pretty bad, and we've seen it, or I'm going to see it a couple times here because I'm not running cross chop. So shield the first one, of course. We can't really take down Obstagoon with the back line, but we can fake having the cross chop with this Night Slash, get a shield back. After that, the jig is up, right? So I'm going to swap and try and catch a cross chop on Gallade, which they are too smart to throw. And then I'll throw the Leaf Blade right away, try and burn their last shield here, see what they want to do. But the thing is, because this Obstagoon is not switching out right away, this is a very good sign. This means that Jynx is likely going to be able to, honestly, do very well here. Crobat in the back comes in. Shadow Crobat actually able to take down Gallade, but I'm going to swap into Jynx and just start farming this thing all the way down. They're going to throw a move right away. I have to think about whether I not want to shield a Poison Fang or not, which I don't. And we're just going to farm this Crobat down. I've switched so I can swap and remove the debuff. I still have a shield, remember. So I'm going to swap and catch the Night Slash, because obviously I don't want to shield my Jynx. I know my Obstagoon is kind of dead weight now, except it's not. It's able to take down their Obstagoon and throw a Night Slash at the opponent. And guess what? It's a Nidoqueen in the back. So once again, Obstagoon double poison. You see a lot of this too. There's a lot of double poison teams out there now. And guess what? Absolutely wrecks double poison. Jynx does. A little bit better than Gallade too, right? Because we got that ice typing. You can throw the Avalanche. It's also pretty good against Lapras, right? Resisting ice as well. So it does have some play. And I think Nidoqueen being in this meta may be one of the reasons why Jynx actually is looking semi-viable. Avalanche against Crobat, and Avalanche against Nidoqueen, the 2 most common poisons. Huge deal. Here we have Lapras, which is amazing to see. It has no play. In comes Alolan Muk. Once again, let's try and go for some gunk shots here. We have 2 answers to Lapras in the back. So this team is just very anti-Lapras. So all we have to do really is go for the gunk shot here. Deals quite a bit of damage. Not going to shield anything they do. Acid Spray. And I think I'm going to be looking to switch out kind of soon. Yeah, they throw their other move too. If it's a Dark Pulse, it'll probably deal quite a bit of damage, and then I'll swap. And I swap into Jynx here because they're Poison Jab instead of Snarl. And Gallade is better against Lapras just because of the Leaf Blades, etc. So they get their Acid Spray off, which is fine. I'm not going to shield it. And they're going to come in with Crobat. Very interesting play. I'm going to throw an Avalanche here. Both moves are super effective and will likely KO. They actually let it through. So now they farmed down with the Lapras, but unfortunately for them, Gallade versus Lapras is a pretty solid matchup, even though they have a little bit of an energy advantage. As long as I throw with good timing, I should be okay here. So we're both throwing. I'm waiting for them to throw their move so I can shield once. I'll throw 2 more Confusions because that's good timing in the 4-turn move versus 3-turn move. Throw the Leaf Blade here because we only need the Leaf Blade in the 2 shield. We don't need to land a close combat, which they shield. I'm go for the back-to-back, which is not the recommended play most of the time, but I was feeling it. Worked out. And then obviously we're just going to throw this 3rd Leaf Blade as soon as possible. Going to spend our last shield here. They're unfortunately going to get to another Surf here. You can't catch in the 4v3 turn if your opponent is competent, so I can't go for the catch here as much as I would love to. But either way, just going to get to this Leaf Blade and take out the Lapras. So Jynx does its job. Takes a move from the Muk. Takes out the Crobat. Even debuffed. And Gallade can just sweep from the end. Alright, Sylveon lead. This is awful. Yeah, we just lose this game. So, you know when I was talking about Charm being really good against this team? Yeah. It's really good against this team. So, my opponent realizes it too. Yeah, as soon as I swap in the Gallade, they realize this is really weak to Charm. They're going to shield their Sylveon as much as they can. They swap in their Lapras into Jynx, which honestly isn't too bad. The only unfortunate part here is that I do have to start throwing my moves. I know shield this, kind of questionable, I know. But I know I don't really take too much damage from these Ice Shards. I'm only throwing Psyshock to stall the clock here. So I can get out into my Obstagoon and farm down. Because I know my only win condition here is landing the Gunk. And I've been able to do that a lot today. So if I can land the Gunk on the Sylveon, it's kind of over. And a lot of Obstagoons aren't running Gunk. And I'm going to no-shield this. Just so that they have a higher chance of no-shielding this. But my opponent is quite smart. They realize, yep, that's their win condition. They just have to shield. Even if it's not a Gunk, if it's a bait, they still win the game. So very impressive from them. Jynx actually gets to move, so I'm going to be able to take out their Sylveon here. And see what's in the back. Because I really wanted to see if there was a win con if I'd landed the Gunk. And it's a Swampert, so potentially a win con, but it would have been very tough either way. I would have had 2 shields in Jynx versus a 1 shield Swampert. So another Obstagoon lead. Like I said, this is really bad when you don't have cross chop, but I do sneak the extra move through. We're gonna shield their cross chop and fake the cross chop here. And I tried to catch, but they are a bit too smart. They waited for me to throw my move before throwing the cross chop, KO me. And I'm going to come in with Gallade here. In comes Charizard, so it's honestly a little bit better that I'm seeing this on Gallade instead of Jynx. I kind of go over by a little bit and shield a Dragon Claw, so not the ideal scenario. Throw the Leaf Blade, kind of dumb. I should be going for the I should have just went for the close combat and dipped, because yeah, they don't even shield it here. And then for some reason, I don't throw my move either. But it's okay. Get the full farm down. See what's in the back. I'm going to have to throw Leaf Blade or whatever comes in. I know it's Obstagoon, which is unfortunate. But what he doesn't know is Obstagoon's also good against what I have in the back. So I don't mind throwing the Leaf Blade here. And then we have the Swampert come in. So I'm 1 away from a Leaf Blade, which I'll be able to get to on my Gallade. So the Swampert has to make a decision. Does he think that Avalanche will KO from this range? And he doesn't know. Nobody knows the matchups for Jynx, which is a huge advantage here. And of course, Avalanche is going to completely destroy. Yeah, even my friends BMing this player with a good call in the background. It definitely meant it for this game, not for something else. We have Nidoqueen lead, so once again, 2 answers for Nidoqueen. Gonna get out into Gallade. And I think the goal here is to get some shields. So I'm gonna shield once, build up to 2 close combats, throw them both. If I throw my 1 close combat here, Waterfall gets through, so I'll actually take quite a bit of damage on this, so they won't get as much farm. And then I'll throw the 2nd close combat, and they should not get too much farm on this Gallade here. They absolutely want switch, right? Obstagoon versus Nidoqueen is pretty good. So I'm going to take this Hydro Cannon and just counter. I decide to throw instead of risking it. I probably should have just kept countering. But able to take down this Empoleon. Gonna come with Jynx right away, obviously. As Nidoqueen's coming back in. And in comes Trevenant. So honestly, not too bad of a situation. But Trevenant does deal a ton of damage with those Shadow Claws. And I'm forced to shield the Seed Bomb because I know I'm gonna get taken down by Nidoqueen. It's Poison Fang, otherwise. Oh, sorry, Poison Fang does less damage than Seed Bomb. Yeah, so this Poison Fang does just enough, and I'm not quite able to get to my Avalanche, so unfortunate, but I'm going to lose this game just by a little bit. I'm going to fight till the very end, of course, Obstagoon. Trying to do as much damage as possible, but if you notice, if I managed to farm that Empoleon down all the way, I might have actually been able to win this game. But it would have been close. Either way, 1 more game remaining in this set, and this is also why this team was very lucky. We got people tanking for Go Battle Knight, so they just leave. Or maybe they had nothing for Obstagoon. plausible, but not likely. But yeah, so either way, kind of tainted set. That's why I kind of wanted to show this as a fun video as opposed to like, hey, play this Jynx team. But either way, we are looking at a almost 3,300 rating and good for almost 100th on the leaderboard. Yeah, that's the video. Hopefully you guys all enjoy it. All my links are in the video description, so you can follow me there. And as always, thanks for watching.